It is your hump day edition of your Drive Thru. We love to keep it Pacific Urban fresh. It's Glenn Jackson with Kiwila. With me live in the studio, a very special guest. He is to the island of Niuean what the King Wally Lewis is to Queensland. He is the one, the only, my boy Tyree. How are you doing, brother?
What's up?
Sorry, brother, I had your mic turned off there.
You did that on purpose.
Nothing to do with the whole Queensland thing. I'm just great to have you on. Like we were talking, it's been what, over a month now since we were on the set of the Factory, the web series together.
Yes.
How you've been in the game for a while and you've never had an interview on the Drive Thru.
I know, man. Honestly, I was starting to think that you hated me.
Why would I hate you? You're a good-looking guy, you know. You're muscly, you're built. Like, but we finally got there. 2013, and you're finally here on the Drive Thru. So
this is a special day.
It is a special day. It's always a special day when you're hanging out with the boys. Hey, we want to talk music, but we also want to get to know the man behind the music. We want to know everything there is to know about you. So first of all, brother, your cultural background and where did you grow up?
I am 100% Niuean. And I grew up everywhere in South Auckland, like from Otsara to Papatoe to Rewa, to Mangere. So I've been around the place, but Papatoe is the one I call my home.
That's your hometown.
Yeah, man.
Hometown. Hey, whenever I meet a couple in a loving relationship, so to speak, I like to ask them, how did you two meet? And seeing as music has shown you a lot of love to get you where you are in your career thus far, how did you and music meet?
Well, it started when I was very young. My mom comes from a very musical family. All her brothers, about 4 brothers, play the guitar really well. Like when I say well, it's like Jimi Hendrix. That was their idol, and they know how to play like him. I mean, they're not gonna play exactly like him, but they can just go bang, like just.
They were into that kind of music.
Yes.
A Niuean family in Papatoe listening to Jimi Hendrix. Or your uncles getting on the guitar?
Man. Yeah, they had the bandanas on, the big glasses and everything, the aviators, and they would just jam out. Like the skinny jeans back then. See, they were skinny back then and they were in back then. They just, it's come back around.
So you grew up with music all around you then?
Yes, because my dad, on my dad's side, well, not really my dad's side, but my dad was a DJ. So I was surrounded by all those hits back in the 80s, back in the early 90s as well. And just growing up every day, my dad would be up early just blasting his sounds, doing his sets for 21st, and sort of gigs like that. So yeah, I was brought up around music, and I didn't even know the impact that it had on me until I started writing my own music, because all these tunes would subconsciously just come to my head, but they were old school sort of tunes, but they're just all mixed up in my head. And I guess I owe a lot to my mom and dad for that sense, because they made me the musician that I am today, the artist.
Exposed to music at such an early age, you must have been that kid at school that someone hums a tune, you'll be able to tell them the artist, what album it came off, or possibly even what key it's in. Were you that engraved with music?
Yeah, I knew all the songs. I didn't really know all the names, like so to speak. But I was that kid in assembly that was making noises, tunes with my voice, and then go like, just making beats with my teeth and this. I don't know what you call the. What's that?
Sounds like a horse. Neighing? I don't know.
Yeah.
So at what age were you doing all that stuff?
Like 6, 7, like. Yeah, I was making music and I didn't even know it. I was making tunes, and I would make like sort of catchy sayings to and then teach them to my cousins. To my little cousins. I didn't really think of it as making music, so to speak.
Yeah.
But it was composing.
Yeah, from an early age.
Yeah.
You didn't even know you were doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you were mentioning that your father was a DJ. Did you kind of follow down his route? Do you DJ yourself? I mean,
no,
do you get on the turntables at all?
I did for a while, but nah, not hard out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You were talking about your uncles playing the guitar. Do you play instruments?
Yes, I play the guitar. And I'm not the best, but I can definitely play the same in my life, and that's where I started making my music, was with the guitar, because I know all the chords. I can play by ear, but then that's how I started writing my music with what I knew, and then making songs out of them.
So your uncles kind of introduced you to the sounds of Jimi Hendrix when they were playing the guitar. Your bio on Wikipedia talks about you being New Zealand hip-hop artist. So how did you fall into hip-hop? Is hip-hop the only music that you're into?
No. I love all sorts of music. I love everything that sounds good to my ear. You know what I mean? I don't have a certain genre that I'm into. Obviously, I'm into hip hop, and I love R&B, and I love to rap. But you know, at the time, before anything, I was an R&B singer. I used to love like Casey and JoJo, like Joe, you know, Milestone. I was brought up on all those kind of artists, like, you know, Keith Martin.
Oh yeah,
the one-hit wonder guy.
Yeah.
I never find someone like you, bro. I used to practice that song in front of the mirror. UNV, you know, like heaps of these artists. But
so just quickly on that, when you were practicing that song in front of the mirror, what age were you? Because that's what, early 90s, like, late 80s?
Yeah. I was like 9, 10.
Do you remember the girl you were thinking of when you were singing that?
Yeah, definitely.
What's her name? Let's rat her out. Let's rat her out. Who is this poor girl that got stalked by you when you were 9?
Nah, I used to be in love with this, you know, when I used to think I was in love with this girl called Yolanda, you know.
Look at you, making it all shy.
Nah, no way, no, because, you know, that's a part, I have the love of my life now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that's just a memory back then. It was funny. It was funny.
Hey, when you get home, she's got, so who's Yolanda? Do you still see Yolanda out there?
No, she's a friend on Facebook. You know, it's nothing. You know, it's just catch up. You know, say how are you? You know, she's got kids. I got kids. Like I got a kid.
Yeah. Right now, she's gonna jump on Facebook and write it as her status.
She's a good friend. You know what I mean? Like if I see her, I have time for her. She's a cool friend. You know, just like I have time for everyone that I was brought up with.
All right, man. Hey, yeah, there are thousands of our Polynesian brothers and sisters trying to break it into the music industry and make a living out of it. Now, before your career took off, you know, you mentioned your family. Who were some of the people that kept encouraging you to keep at it, even during the tough times? Because there would have been tough times trying to break it in.
Yeah, there was heaps. I have to give props to my parents because they stuck through right to the end, you know. At first, they were really apprehensive about it, but they ended up being my number one supporters. My brother being the number one supporter, he always encouraged me to just keep on going. I remember playing tapes of my demos to him, and he was like, bro, this sounds like an actual song. And I'll go, bro, it is an actual song, you know what I mean? And he was like, bro, keep on going, you know. So I got to give props to my mom and dad, my brother, my little sister, always been my biggest fan when I was little. You know, she's on my first video clip Friday night. So it's definitely having the right people around me. I mean, you know, my family have always been supportive, and also my friends, you know, and some of my friends shared the same passion as me, making music, rapping, singing. So I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by those kind of people.
Yeah, very nice. Now, you talk about being Niuean, and it shows how much pride you have in your culture. Being a Samoan, when I was young, you know, there was a lot of pressure. The Samoan parents wanted their sons, especially if they were the eldest in the family, to be either a minister, church minister, or a lawyer or a doctor, you know.
Yeah.
So when you told your parents, oh, I really want to give music a go, you talked about them being apprehensive. At what stage did you prove to them, I can really do this, Mum, Dad? I can really make a living out of this?
I remember the actual moment was when I invited them to my music night. I took music, and back in high school, you have music evenings.
Yeah.
Where you have, like, part of the assessment is to perform live.
Yeah.
And I remember I did No One Else Comes Close. Joe, No One Else Comes Close. And I remember my mom just crying in the audience.
Wow.
Yeah, and my mom and dad were proud, you know. And I have the same photo of when we were at the Tui Awards, Smashproof, when we won at the Tui Awards. I remember the same look on their faces then, back in the day, you know, when I was in high school. This is like years ago, and I just remember seeing the same faces, like just a proud moment, on their face. And it was very humbling, and you know, just very touching for me.
Know what's happening? In your hood. Click on niufm.com.